councillors to liaise with North Somerset Council and issue formal notice of the vacancies, and if a request for an election is called, to fund the election through the elections revenue budget and the council's general financial reserve if the cost exceeds this sum. So it is with great regret that we accept the resignations of Tina and Polly, who have taken the difficult decision to resign over what is in effect a technicality. Had they not done so, and they continue to act as councillors, as I believe they should be able to, they could then face the prospect of being held personally liable for breaking the law, should someone wish to bring a prosecution. Their only crime being that due to illness and personal hardship, they have been unable to physically attend council meetings through no fault of their own, during, I remind you, an unprecedented global pandemic. Both councillors have continued working throughout the year, despite personal difficulties and problems, including attending meetings, but they were online and not in person. Back in 1972, when the Local Government Act on which the complainants rely became law, the only way you could tell if a councillor was still carrying out their duties was whether or not they bodily walked through the doors of the town hall to attend meetings. In those days, 50 years ago, only 1 in 3 households had a phone, and all business was conducted by letter. Things were very different. These days, multinational companies, numerous businesses and even governments conduct their affairs perfectly acceptably and legally online. In fact, this has been unavoidable for many during the pandemic when travel has been severely restricted. We will, of course, continue to lobby the government to amend the 1972 legislation to allow for online meetings and to come into line with the Welsh and Scottish governments. I'm sure this will happen, but change must happen soon. I cannot understand the obsession of some residents in pursuing this matter and ask what possible motives they could have. The sanctimonious ranting of just a few people has been nauseating.
Ooh.
They aren't thinking of the good of Portishead, they are simply point scoring.
Ooh.
How can it benefit Portishead to lose 2 valuable, talented, conscientious, dedicated and hard-working councillors? Any suggestion that they have not attended because, and I quote, they can't be bothered, is an offensive insult and potentially slanderous. I stood for the council as an independent because I detest and despise the petty backstabbing nature of party politics. This campaign for their removal from office, orchestrated by a few, simply confirms that I made exactly the right decision. This is party politics at its worst, where the chief aim of the opposition seems to be to dish the dirt on the incumbents, regardless of the consequences. And I'm not aiming at any particular party, I think they're all as bad as each other. We are now faced with the possibility of 2 unnecessary by-elections at a cost of some £12,000 for Portishead. Money that could otherwise have been spent on something worthwhile, and for what? We would struggle to find 2 replacements who have the same dedication, empathy and commitment to working for the good of Portishead. I think the 2 councillors present would like to say a word.